Hi everyone, I'm going to do a cover for this art journal. Now this one you've seen me do all the pages in this one, and now I want to do a cover. This one was constructed like back to back. I've made a video and showed you how to do it. It's just from pages from a watercolor pad that I'm sticking to one another. And the idea for this cover started by I got from a friend all these fun foam, craft foam shapes, and I've already done several stamps out of them, of course, like the dragonfly and this flower, but I've got lots and lots of shapes here, and I was thinking how I can use them in my work. So what I came up with is I've already used stickers as a background in making texture. So I'm thinking I'm going to stick lots and lots of shapes from here and make a textured background. Now to start my cover, I took a very, I think it's ugly, wallpaper from in the book of samples of wallpaper that I also got from a friend. But it is ugly, but it has nice texture, and it's going to be covered with the shapes and with gesso, so I don't care. So of course, wallpaper samples, it's not sturdy enough, so I just took some kind of cardboard and stuck it here. You can use cereal boxes, corrugated cardboard, whatever you have on hand. So I just glued this cardboard so it will be more sturdy, and it will go here, and this piece will go on the back, and I still need to do the spine. But before I'm doing the construction of the whole cover, I want to do the decorating on the outside, so I won't have to worry about paint and glue going and gesso going everywhere. So for now I'm just going to do the front piece. Of course the end piece will be something similar, but for this demonstration I will do the front. So what I'm thinking is just taking shapes and starting to gluing them. I'm going to use silicone glue. This is Yoo-hoo glue. Usually I use this one. It's from the cheap store and a local brand, so but there is no comparison, of course, to the original stuff, so I'm using now the Yoo-hoo glue, so everything will get faster. I'm putting it outside the borders of my page, and later on I'm going to trim it. I don't care about the color of each piece. Everything is going to get covered with gesso. The only purpose here is to make an interesting and textured background. Of course, if I'm using the brighter colors, it's easier for me to see what I'm doing, while this blue is kind of disappearing on the background. But it really doesn't matter. So now it's just taking pieces and sticking them wherever I think they should go. Now I'm thinking that maybe I won't even trim what is getting outside the piece. Maybe it will be interesting as is. Who said that the cover should be with straight lines? Go. So I'm going to continue gluing down pieces, just so you will get a feel for what I'm doing. But then I'll go off camera because this is going to take quite some time to glue all these pieces, and it's just boring to watch me glue. I've got here a dragonfly with adhesive in the back, so I'm peeling it, and the adhesive is not so good, so I'm going to put down glue from this and stick it. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to continue gluing and I'll be back. I'm back. So, very busy, very colorful, and quite hideous. But never mind, it's going to be okay. I'm going in with gesso. Everything is going to get covered with gesso, and really need to go into all the nooks and crannies if you want good coverage. And of course, before you're doing the gesso, just be sure that everything is glued down and dry. I don't know if you can see, but the very ugly wallpaper that I have is turning out to be quite interesting once it's going into the background with the gesso. It's a very nice texture once you don't see all the ugly color, the pattern that you have on this wallpaper. I'm going from all directions, so everything will get covered with the gesso, and I'm even thinking I will probably need a second coat if I want to make sure that everything will look nice. Nice and cohesive and get covered, and so I won't have all this colors picking through the gesso. So another coat is in order, and I'm just going to continue working on it and covering everything. A nice tip for doing something like that is, once you think you're finished, start moving your page until you see from your things from all angles, and then you'll find out where it's not covered with gesso. So I'm going to continue, and I'll be back once I have got 2 coats and everything is dry, and then I'm going in with paint. I'll be back. I'm back. I haven't finished. I'm into the second coat, and I don't like the brush strokes with the gesso, so I'm doing the second coat of gesso like this. I'm tapping my paintbrush like so, and I'm getting more texture for all this background. I'm covering, I'm doing the next layer, the second layer of gesso, and also adding more texture to everything to eliminate the brush strokes, which I don't like. And it also allows me to go into all the little crevices. Okay, so everything is wet. I'm going to bring it closer to the camera so you can see what I've done. Of course, this needs to be to get dry before I'm going in with paint. Let's see. White on white, you can't see. I'll turn on another light here in the hopes that maybe you can get to see all the texture that I have on this page. So I'll be back once everything is dry. I'm back. So this is dry. I've waited for this to dry. I painted the back. I haven't glued down any pieces. I decided to keep the back simple, so I just played with the colors and painted it. And I'm going to use the same colors here, only adding a little one more color for the front. And I've got here, let's see, it's Artist Art Deco, and I've got cobalt blue, dark purple, dark maroon, and I've got this crimson bright blue. So that's what I'm going to use. I have this very soft brush. It's for makeup. I've got lots of brushes for makeup that I use in my art instead of using it for makeup. I wouldn't know what to do with it for makeup. And I'm just putting down a paint randomly in several places. Oopsie, too much in one place. Okay, starting just in one place and again going all around and in all directions, so the paint will go in all the little nooks and crannies. And as I go, I blend the colors, and I don't care where each one goes. And if I won't like it, I can always add more color and go over it. It seems like I have here a little bit wet gesso, so it lightened the color here, but I don't care, it just adds to the interest. And after everything is going to dry, I'm going to I haven't decided if I'm going for a silver, gold or bronze, and I'm going to do highlights on all this texture with one of them. Haven't decided which one I want for the cover. I've got here one dot that didn't stick so well, so I'm moving it and just continuing. Now I'm thinking that once it's dry, and if I still have white showing up in places, I can take one of my sprays and maybe eliminate the white picking out, because the spray will just go into all the low places. We'll see. For now, I'm just trying to finish covering everything. Right now you can't see all, the paint is like obscuring all the texture that I've worked on, but once you take another color, and I'm planning on some metallics, then it will pick up all the texture that now is blending into everything. Okay, so covered everything, I hope, and still have white picking up in several places. I need to let it dry, because it seems like, because it's wet, it's picking up the gesso from underneath, and instead of covering it, so I'm stopping. I'll let everything dry and then I'll come back. I'm back, and I'm going to try and spray a little bit of black spray. This is from gel food coloring and water, and I'm hoping that it will get inside, and I'll just wipe excess from on the top, because I only want it on the nooks and crannies, on the crevices. I don't want it on top. Let's hope it will work. Okay, again, I'm leaving it to dry, and then I'll come back to do the highlights with a metallic paint that I still need to pick. I haven't decided yet. I'll be back. I'm back. So I decided to take a silver. I hope it stopped swinging around. Okay, so I've got here silver acrylic paint, and I'm taking it with a brush with hard bristles, and I don't want to load it with the paint. I want less, as little as paint I can manage on this brush. So I'm doing something like this on this paper, and now I'm going to brush edges of my elements. So it will pick only the texture, and I'm not trying to cover with paint. I'm not trying to paint it silver. I'm just trying to let the texture pop up, and also to give it interest and highlights and more definition to the elements that I've used. Sometimes it will cover a little bit, but just do it slowly, and so you won't cover it completely, and only wherever you feel like you need to add, and each time add a little bit, so you won't have to worry about trying to remove if you put down too much. And again, I hope I'm explaining myself that you understand what I'm trying to do. The light isn't great. It's already evening here, and I only have artificial light right now, so it's kind of tricky seeing all the places that I've put the silver. Generally, I prefer to work to do things like that in the daylight, but doesn't always work like that. Sometimes you just got to do what you've got to do, no matter the hour of the day. So basically this is it. I'm gonna continue adding the silver on the edges and picking up the texture, and I'll come back once I'm done. I'm back. So here is the front of my cover. Here is the back. I also went with the silver to pick the texture. I kind of like it, and it's really better than the ugly wallpaper that's underneath. So what I'm going to do now is I'm flipping I'll move this aside. This is the front, this is the back, and I want to make some spine, and I don't really need something sturdy or and thick because it's quite thin here, but I do need something that will hold everything down and be flexible. So I came up with a duct tape. This is I think it's duct tape at least. And I'm going to try and do a spine out of it. I need something like this, and it's really is sticky. Now at first I was going to glue on both sides, like putting this down and gluing it and putting another piece here to seal it, but I put down pieces here, and so I can't do it. I'm gonna try and do something else. So for the back side, I am going to stick it like this, and I hope I'll be straight about it. Oops. It really is very, very sticky. And now I'm going to put down the cover. Let's take it aside, it's just in my way right now. And oh my god, where do I get these harebrained ideas? Nope, not doing it. I'm gonna find something else. I'll be back. I'm back. So I just took a piece of cardboard from a cereal box and took another piece of the hideous wallpaper, and I stuck it together so it will be more sturdy. And I'm just doing this so I will have a nice edge for my spine. Nothing else, it doesn't have to be. I'm not an expert on binding and doing covers. I'm just making my stuff up as I go. That's the best explanation I've got. And I'm going to stick it here now and here, like so, and then stick it like so to my art journal. I'm running out of time of recording, so I'm going to put glue down and then I'll come back. I'm back. So here is my art journal, here is my cover and the back. So this is the spine. It still needs to dry, and I quite like it. It just came out somehow, I don't know. So this is it. I hope it gives you ideas about texture and sticking all kinds of stuff and making it work for you. So this is it for now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for leaving me comments below. It really is appreciated. And I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.